Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second panel of the World Biogas Summit for this year. So the second panel of today, I think I am going to turn a slide. Oh, my mistake. So we're talking about the benefits of real-time monitoring and data visualization in biogas operations. I think we spend the morning talking about how do we scale up the industry. We have a huge potential. We need to create a lot of plans in a short amount of time. And so we need the support of the finance world. We need governments to commit to the industry. We need the policies. We need the regulations. But for the session today, we should be talking about, so what do we do with the plans we already have? So how do we make sure the assets we already have are working in the way they should, and how we optimize and the operations of the plants, how we make sure they can be the best that they can be. So that's what we're talking about today, and I'm very happy to introduce our keynotes for the session. So we have Amir Akbari, who is the CEO of Anessa. He's a mechanical engineer by training, and he has 11 years of experience, so a long time in the industry. So he has successfully led Anessa through the early stages of research and development and investment fundraising and into commercialization. And today he's going to talk about some of the work that Anessa has been doing to make sure AD plans work as they should. And with us we also have Ricky Maylin, who is the co-director of O&M Energy. And he also has 12 years of experience, and he started as a plant manager in 2008, and so he gained a lot of operational experience at the beginning of his career, and then he went on a commissioning role, and now is being kind of helping Anessa with the products that they develop to make sure that they can be implemented also in the UK. So that's what they're gonna talk about today. So I'm gonna pass the floor to Amir first, and then we're gonna hear from Ricky.
Thanks, Giulia. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Giulia, for the introduction. As Giulia mentioned, my name is Amir Akbari. I'm the CEO of Anessa. Anessa is, today we want to talk about the real-time data collection, but in the previous panel, there was a conversation about how we are measuring the value of the biogas, which is related to our conversation. We want to make sure that not only all the plants that we have operating optimized and operating healthy, but how we are demonstrating the value that we are bringing to the entire ecosystem and the circular economy. Before talking about the monitoring, I'd like to talk a little bit about Anessa. So Anessa is a Canadian-based company. We are serving our clients globally, mainly North America, Europe, Africa, and Brazil. Our biggest vision is around digitalization of this industry. So we have developed a number of tools and platforms for that purposes. We have products in the early stage project development called ADA for the full feasibility assessment of the projects. When you are looking to do the technical, financial, and environmental aspect of these projects and how they are going to work not only today, but in terms of the lifetime of these assets and plants, that's how we are working with the project development team and the ADA, which is our product. And when it comes to the operation, we have ADO. That's part of our operation platform for optimization of these plants. Part of this ADO has a different modules in terms of the real-time data collection, which is going to be today's conversation mostly under ADM, that you can collect different type of data, different source of data from the plants, and how you are optimizing it, and essentially how you are going to control the plant. So that ADC, which is our control product, is under development. It's not been launched yet, but that's how we are seeing in terms of digitalization journey for our clients. What we are hoping with these platforms and tools to bring to the industry is to make sure to enable more biogas plants globally and make sure those plants are working healthy, and they are hitting the targets and the goals that we set for the plants. So this is a new way of looking at this entire journey. So we have been recognized with nationally and internationally with the different organization. The latest one was for the Biogas Bioenergy Review. We have been one of the top 10 biogas service provider in Canada, or recognized for this year. And we work with a variety of the clients. So as I said, because of our nature of our products, we see different type of clients, different type of plants. We work with the project developers, obviously, and their early stage journey to develop that feasibility assessment, to provide the results and business case for the stakeholders. We have engineers, EPCs using our platform for evaluating the opportunities that they presented to them. We also work with the investors, financiers, and the off-takers that they are looking to identify the right opportunity to invest in and provide the off-take agreement. And the operations side, we directly work with the operators and service providers like O&M that we will talk a little bit about that in the UK market. So if you've been in the industry long enough, I'm sure you'll have this kind of Excel file in your computer sitting somewhere. And all of these data coming either from the feasibility or the operation. But how we are changing this and how we are utilizing these data and changing this old paradigm, that's our vision for the company and what we are doing, providing our solution for. We have, when it comes to the biogas plants, we have a variety of data sets from the feedstock to the plant spec, biogas yield, energy output, and we have a variety of audiences. There are a lot of stakeholders in any biogas plants that we need to provide the data, and we have one source of data, but with different audiences. What that means for different people, that can change. So it can be very overwhelming if we are looking to bring all the data to the relevant people, and that's what we are changing with our product. So our solution to this is digital presentation of the projects and plants. So we are creating the digital twin of your projects and plants in our platform to be, even before building that plant, you know how it's going to work. And during the operation, you can see the impact of changes in your operation using our platform. We have two products. The main products is the ADA. Our clients using the ADA for identify and work with the different stakeholders to streamline the process of the project intake and evaluation. It works to use, they are using this to delineate all the results to the different stakeholders from financial, technical, and environmental aspect. And using that, they identify the risk profile of the projects and finding the solution and de-risking this projects, the entire projects for the different people. Once it's operation, it's preventing failures with the data, solid data collection and providing the knowledge around that. And the last part is around the optimization of these plans and how we are using the data for that purposes. Today we are going to focus on this operational platform. We are going to talk a little bit about our optimization and data collection. We are referring exchange between Ricky and I. We're going to ADO and ADM. It's a module in the ADO that related to the data collection. All of our products have built a number of interconnected models. So we have the variety of feedstock model built into it. So you can define unlimited number of feedstock and a variety of feedstock built into it. There's a large database of the feedstock that you can utilize it. You can define different process from the wet to dry system in that you can simulate it. You can create the GHG emission characteristics of your projects. And finally, the most important part is the financial aspect of it. And all of these models are connected. In other words, changing one factor, one metrics in any of these will impact the other. And using our platform, you can easily get the results without spending time and hours on those Excel files. So switching the gear here to focus a little bit of the monitoring aspect of it. Essentially, the monitoring product is bringing the remote access, remote data collection to provide the efficiency and provide the profitability for your projects and plans. It helps to ensure that the healthy operation for the operators is there with the different features that built in that I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these features. The first part is the data collection. So you have one source of data coming from the gathered all of the information in one location and you have access to it. And there are multiple data entry points that I will talk a little bit with. Believe it or not, today, even today in this day and age, we have a lot of plants that running on pen and paper, collecting a lot of information in that matter. And using that method, you don't know what's going on and what's happening in your plant. So we are changing with this. In terms of the data collection, there are a number of ways that you can utilize our platform for the data collection. Manual entry, obviously, is the one solution that the users can enter manually all the information. There is a semi-automatic data collection, mainly used for the uploading the old historical data to our system. Some of our users using this functionality for bringing the lab results for the feedstock information to upload to our platform. And the last but exciting part is more automatic data collection through the API and connection to the either SCADA system, sensors, any IoT-enabled products that we can bring all the information from the plants to our ecosystem. Once all of these information it's all encrypted and it's saved in a dedicated servers. Only the user has access to it, and that service located in Canada, so it's protected, and we know how important these data are. In terms of the automatic data collection, we are seeing a lot of new plants that they are installing the sensors that IoT enabled. So it's easy that way. It's easy to collect all the information, bring in all the data. But because of the old plants that we need to work and we want to work with, we have a partner in place that we can connect to through the IoT gateways that connect to the old PLCs or SCADA system that can bring all the information to our platforms. Using this, working with this, we figured out that it's not all of the data can be measured and captured through the API and connection. So there are a lot of requirements coming from the manual, and the operator wants to measure and capture some of the data. So we worked in the past year to develop this field app that the operators in their walk in the plant that they can capture all the data. It's station by station enabled. There's a barcode that either on the sensor or any station. When you scan it, all the information comes in. It's all the data, all of the data are GPS and time stamped, so you know where data is coming and who's having access to that. You can even, using this app, you can even measure, capture the video or picture in terms of the maintenance requirement, that you can send out the maintenance requirement and show to the entire team. And also, if your plant is in a remote area that you don't have access to the internet, all the information that's captured in the plant will automatically transfer to the anessa platform once it's connected to internet. The second features is around the remote access. So you can have access to all the plant data remotely and control your plant beyond what SCADA system are providing it. So in other words, you have access to all the data anywhere, anytime, with any devices, as long as you have access to internet. And it can provide a different access level, from the view only to the read and write only. We've seen this, it's an important feature for some of our users, that because they want to give access to, for example, the directors, the investors, just to see what's going on in the plant without being able to change any variables or any metrics there. So that has a very different functionality, that we can define different access level for these different users. The third part obviously is around the alarm and notification. So this alarm is completely customizable, so you can work and add all those alarms and systems, and you can identify different sudden changes for any metrics. So as you can see, all of these metrics can be customizable from one plant to another plant, or one user to another user. It depends on the situation that you have there. The last part on this initial features is around the knowledge base. So you have all the data, you have all the alarms. Okay, what that means, how you are going to change, what you are going to need to change as an operator to resolve those issues. That's where the knowledge base comes in. And this knowledge base is setting the plant SOPs and understanding, analyze those information and trend for the plants, for the data. So you can see that here, some of the examples here that, okay, the alarm comes in, but it also shows some suggested solution for those challenges in the operation. So it helps the operator to have healthy operation at the end of the day. Data visualization is an important part to understanding what's going on with those data. So it's dynamically, you can create different data visualization platform and also different dashboards. So you can have different graphs for any sorts of the data, any sorts of metrics, and you can set that up higher and lower level to show what's going on in your plant and identify if something is dropping significantly or going higher than what it should go. You can plot all the information, all these metrics against each other to know what is impacting another metrics and visualize it. And you can, using this, you can identify the trend. So it's not only showing the historical data, it's also showing what's going on right now and identifying the trends going forward for those plants and metrics around that. Reporting, exporting is an important part of this functionality. There are a lot of reports required to go out from the compliance purposes to management, and that's once you have all the data, you can create fully automated reporting system in there. You can you set that different reporting, end of the shift, end of the week, any customizable report that you wish as a user wants to add to it. Once you set that up, the platform automatically generates the report and saving significant time for the operators. You can also have a different dashboards. As I said, you might have a different roles. I think if on the left side you can see, even this is the case that we have with one of our US operators. They have different operators. They have financier dashboard. They have compliance required for the environmental aspect of their plants that they want to report on. So they are using different dashboard for that purposes and creating the report for it. This is another example of the end of the week report showing the different graphs, tables. Again, all of this are customizable. It depends on each plant and each situation. Last part is our data security. I touched base a little bit on that, but that's a big part for us. We know how valuable these data are. All the data comes to our platform, belongs to the user, and it's saved and encrypted. It has all banking security in place that you can erase all the information if you choose to that, and it will be gone in our system. So I'd like to stop here to talk a little bit about the O&M, what we are doing here. So last year, this time, we started a conversation with Ricky and his team here in the UK. We wanted to bring this platform to the UK market, and we were looking for a partner in the industry to has a operational background and operational mindset that we can adopt our system to the UK market. So we start discussion, and our vision was aligned very well that we wanted to enable more projects. We want to make sure all the operators running healthy and smoothly. So that was the vision aligned, and we started working with the O&M and O&M team. We implemented this solution in their number of plants that they are operating. And over the past year, we have improved the plant, add more new functionality, and we are launching the products with their help in this market. And between anessa and O&M, you have full support here. So anessa provides the software, all the support required for that, and O&M has support here on the ground with that operational support that you will have for the operations here that you require to have it, and they have experience on providing the services. So I want to invite Ricky to talk about O&M and some of the results that we have seen so far with this. Yeah, green.
Thank you, Amir. Doing presentations isn't normally what I do. Normally operate in AD plants, so yeah, please bear with me. So yeah, good morning. My name is Ricky Maylin. Just before I get into my experiences of anessa and O&M, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My business partner and I started O&M back in 2017. Since then, we've been fortunate enough to support the industry that we love. Personally, I've been involved in AD for over 15 years, starting as an operator, not a plant manager, an operator back in 2008. Then moved into commissioning and management roles and spending several years in Scotland and Ireland, and spending most of my time in the UK. Today, I'm hoping to share some of my experiences learned as an operator and how we've adapted and used the anessa software in our business. It worked. Our take at O&M is to keep things simple. Our knowledge from ground level up allows us to see plants in a very unique way. This allows us to see the plants for what they are. This process quickly removes all complex systems and processes and brings everything back to basics. Once this process happens, most plants can be tamed, allowing us to prioritize issues effectively and regain control and create structure. Our core team are straight-talking, practical people that have collectively operated over 20 plants in the UK. We know what works and what doesn't. At O&M, we offer field management contracts where we're responsible for plant performance, health and safety, compliance, and everything in between. We can support with technical issues or project works. We can help, obviously, with optimizing your plant, certainly using the software. Implementation and development of new management systems, and we also offer development and investment support. Here are we have several operational contracts in the Midlands. Here are a few of the businesses we've worked with recently. Our involvement with these businesses varies, but includes one or more of the following: full operational management, support with plant management cover, providing technically competent cover, and in some cases managing major project works. We have also proudly supported 2 successful acquisitions. These plants range from 500 kilowatts to 4 megawatts. As Amir has mentioned, O&M and anessa started talking back in August 2021. We decided to collaborate on their ADO platform in 2022. The goal, as Amir mentioned, to provide an operationally led development built by operational people. Anessa and O&M shared this vision with an aim to provide software that will help with the running of any AD plant, to produce useful graphics and reports that will be beneficial to any operator and save time, that had built-in alerts, supports in making operational changes. These alerts can be used for spotting potential issues, all with the goal to reducing downtime, improving performance, and supporting with digester health. In order to know what data to capture, you first need to understand the mass balance. The ADO platform allows this mass balance to be tested using actual recorded data from the plant. Using the ADO software, we were able to optimize the process and make changes based on actual data. This will aid when forecasting power output, feedstock requirements, and digestate production. Completing this provides many operational benefits that saves time and money. Site enhancements can be modeled, and the benefits both financially and operationally can be viewed. The limiting factor in most AD processes is the biology. Each digester will have a known working volume. This will determine the organic loading rate and hydraulic retention time. The digester's health is paramount. The above parameters need to be understood and monitored to achieve a healthy biology. Toxic levels and inhibitor levels have been programmed into the software. This will allow the operator to see if they are near dangerous levels and to make changes. The feedstock section of ADO is extensive, and for good reason. You know the saying, you are what you eat? Well, the same is the same for your digesters. You need to know what's in your feedstock. Biological issues with feedstock is the single biggest cause of downtime I've seen. When feeding a wide variety of feedstocks, there are things to consider. Certain feedstocks have the potential to cause real issue. The software can help forecast potential issues and aid with blending different feedstocks. The database becomes a very useful tool. The predicted gas yield and volume of available feedstocks can be programmed into ADO, and we were able to use it to optimize our recipe. Other areas the software focuses on is biology. Importing lab data, including micronutrients, can be easily achieved. This will allow the operator to see clearly what direction their nutrients levels are trending. We have biological trigger points formatted in the software that will raise alarms when data is trending in the wrong direction and results are out of the normal range. If gas yields don't match the feedstock and the performance is lower than expected, the software with its optimizing capabilities has supported with changes in feedstocks that consider the digester's health and profitability. The feedstock database is massively helpful and over time becomes really useful to paint a picture that gives us an average composition of our feedstock. This is the most accurate way to understand feedstock. We all know feedstocks vary. Capturing this data showed us patterns in the feedstock that allowed us to accurately value its worth. ADO has allowed O&M to structure our management systems. These KPIs are broken down into the following sections. This allows our blueprint to be utilized elsewhere rapidly. Measuring and monitoring movements in your data should be the most important thing to take away from today. Doing this effectively can make a massive difference to your bottom line. Our structured reporting system has been incorporated into ADO. This allowed tailored reports to the desired audience to be produced with ease in real time. The reporting structure has been designed to cover all operational needs. These reports will flag areas for concern and provide trending analysis that is informative for all the operators. These reports are designed to be easily digested, no pun intended, with informative data when trying to identify potential issues. We also set up the reports to show historical data that is useful when looking at causes in drops in gas production and stress biology. ADO is uploaded with meter readings automatically. Most electronic meters and SCADA software programs can be changed to automatically populate the software. When output drops, ADO will ask the operator to comment on the root cause for the downtime. All comments are logged and keywords are grouped to provide commentary for downtime and causes. This focuses everyone's attention on the output and allows the team to structure their efforts. All of this data is, of course, to improve output and minimize downtime. We personally at O&M use these reports in our weekly team meetings and when scheduling work activities. Got there in the end. Using the messages and comments entered into ADO, we could group the regular downtime comments into categories. This allows the operator to focus on the main causes of downtime, the 80-20 rule. 20% of the total issues will cause 80% of the downtime, so it's key to focus our efforts. The software aids with prioritizing these alarms and allows the operator to focus on the top offenders. This will aid when trying to troubleshoot. This data is important to prevent reoccurring issues. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me today. We're really excited about the rollout of ADO. I'll hand you back over to Amir, who's going to explain a little bit about the future developments. But as Amir mentioned, O&M will be supporting them in the UK, so please get in touch.
Go back. Thanks, Ricky. Thank you so much, Ricky. So quickly going that, there's a sign there, there's a limit time there. So I just want to quickly talk about what's coming in today, our platform in this year. So we have built a sophisticated AI model today in the platform that runs all of those information, data capture to tell more insight and more analytics for each operation. We are working to improve that and bring it to each plant level. So what it means that we have variety of the plants, variety of settings, and how the AI model is gonna define and bring those insights for each plant. So it's gonna learn from those data and adopt the simulation engine based on those data coming from each individual plant for the users. We are also working to connect the analytic platform with the real-time data collection. We had talked a little bit about that knowledge base, so bringing more solution and sophisticated solution around what they can do, what the operators can do if anything goes wrong, and also advancing our field app that we have developed, and we talked a little bit about that to add more functionality. So if you want to see some of these, come see us at the booth here. We have a booth here that we can show some of those features in action while we're talking to you. In a nutshell, what we are offering as part of this is providing the operational efficiency and profitability. That will lead to continuous monitoring, that through their reporting and recording all the data and troubleshooting. It also reducing the downtime with the preventing all of these biological or technical challenges, and also improving the plant based on the predictive modeling that we have built into the system. So we have some other works in progress in beyond what we are doing with the O&M in the UK. We have some other plants in the, North America through some of our partners, and some that you see here, Northern Biogas and Access RNG. Collectively, we are installing this and implementing this in over 20 plants in the next while, and that's going to help bring more data and more information to our ecosystem. So with that, thank you so much. Thanks World Biogas Association for hosting us, inviting us to be the speaker here. And if there is any question, we are here. And as I said, we have a booth. Come to see us afterwards.
Thank you both so much. I think we have about 10 minutes, 5 minutes for questions. Yeah, 10. I have a question, but before I go on to my question, I want to make sure that there are not questions yet from the audience. We have a question, so let's start with that. Are you giving there is someone there? Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Yadira from Cranfield University. So I guess my question is, you have talked a lot about the platform and the potential benefits that your platform can bring, but not necessarily about the data that you need to operate the platform, and whether most sites are actually doing that level of monitoring already, or it needs a lot of upskilling, of new sensors, of maintenance.
You want to answer that?
Yeah. Well, for us, we have a lot of data, as in O&M. We've got a lot of feedstock data that we've captured over the years from taking samples of our feedstock that we feed into our plants. We operate food waste plants and we operate agricultural plants. So there is a lot of data already there that we're already using that's part of this process. But yeah, I think capturing the data and taking samples, you know, it has to be done for this system to work properly. And yeah, taking samples and collecting the data is just something that you have to do, in my opinion, for operating a plant. If I've understood your question properly.
If I may add that, so over the time that you're using this platform, using the AI, that's going to reduce your requirement to do ongoing testing. That because it's coming specifically from your plant, and those data are showing what the trends are. So that will help a lot in terms of that requirement. But initially, yes, you are going to need a lot of data coming from the plant, and that way it's built a model around it. That's the AI model I was referring to, that provide more analytics for you and specific plant.
Thank you. I think we had another question on that side. Oh, okay.
Hi there, Amy Wong from Credit Suisse. I had a question about all the data that you're collecting, and I think one of the hurdles, I think, in the biogas industry is to understand accreditation, actually. So could you talk a little bit of extending the capability of all this data to work with kind of more global standards and setting, like how do you certify the CO2 intensity of the gas or the product that you're selling?
Yeah.
And eventually could that, you know, how do you see that evolving?
That's a great question, actually. We are working with the US company I was referring to. That's one of the area that we are working with them. They are operating multiple assets, and they want to see across the assets what's going on, how they are using that data for that purposes. So that's for one client purposes. But what we can do there is just extending, anonymizing the data and bringing those metrics to one central location. Maybe World Biogas Association can play a role there to bring all the data and set the standards for the certification purposes for that for the operators. That's a possibility. But for us, data belongs to the user. They need to give us the permission to use that data for us. Some users allow us to do that. Some users, they are not. They want to keep that. So that's going to be the challenge. But we can anonymize the data that no one can refer to any plants specifically, but they can use that for deriving that certificate and setting the goal for the industry.
I think we would be very interested in that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can continue those conversations and see how we go from here. So thank you for the question. There was another question from the gentleman.
Mikhail Khan from Suez. I see a lot of adoption of Power BI for dashboards, hypervision platforms and dashboards. How do you see anessa competing against something like Power BI for the hypervision dashboard space?
So for the Power BI, you can collect the data through the Power BI, but what that means in terms of the understanding the trends and analytics, Power BI cannot provide that insight. Our platform is designed based on the biogas plants. It's not general data collection, general analytics. It understands when you are having the information coming in, what that means. Are you going to have a foaming incident? Are you going to have anything related to the plant? It will notify the plant operators and provide that insight. That's a big differentiator between general data collection system versus our system. And for that, implementing that, you need to have expertise in-house to be able to maintain it. One time is just, you set that data collection, but my job is working with the data, that I know. And we are working and we need to maintain a lot of these data. Over time, Power BI and all those general data collection going to cost a lot of time and resources internally to implement, improve, and maintain it. Versus our system is around specifically for the biogas and provide all the insights for it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
There's one question here.
Again to Amir, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
The question before about data access, security, and ownership of the data.
Sure.
This is a really important topic.
It is.
What kind of benefit do you offer to your clients that you get access to the data?
That's a good question. So in terms of, I talked a little bit about touch base on the anonymizing the data. For the clients that they are allowing us to use the anonymized data, we are using those data to improve our simulation models. So that, in general, help all the users that they are getting access. But again, all our users, they can choose to opt in or opt out, depends on that. So most of our users, they wanted to get the benefit of the different plans and different data coming in, so they are allowing us to use that. But we have a circumstances that they said, nope, we want our dedicated server, that's it, no one share it. So, yeah, thank you.
I actually have a quick question. I was interested to find out a bit more about how long it actually takes to implement those products. So how long it takes for them to actually work well for your clients.
Ricky can talk about that. He implemented that.
Yeah, importing the data, there is it does take time. Obviously, the feedstock section of the software, it goes into, a lot of detail. So importing that information does take time, but we can import CSV files. We can convert files quite quickly, and the team at anessa have been very good at supporting us to format the platform in the way we wanted it to be displayed and to import that information. So yes, there's a lot of data to capture, but the guys are so good at anessa with their technical capabilities. They can convert anything you give them and put it into the software really easily. So it was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Thank you. I'm going to look at Adam. Are we out of time, or we have time for another question? The gentleman there.
Hello, Andres Donoso, Procicla. Is the mixing quality of the digester somehow considered in your software?
Yes, you can define different spec of your design, and depends on your situation, it can impact the results. So that's where I was referring to the digester specification. You can define it different, even you can define different component of your plant, and that will be very deep dive in those information to derive the results for that. So from one plant to another plant, definitely it's different, yes.
Any other questions? We are missing a mic. What?
Yeah, hi there. It's Andrew Brown here from SLR Consulting. I was, I guess, first to confirm that the case studies and examples you showed, I'm familiar with DNF and Fernbrook. Are these retrofits to existing plants, or were these installations anessa brought in as the plants were developed? Or were they installed once the plant had been operating for a few years? Say?
Yeah, it's all on operational plants. So it's using the data that we've already got and obviously changing some of the hardware to get the data extracted automatically, but it's all on operational plants, yeah, that were built and we haven't changed.
Okay, and so if I were going to my clients as a consultant to say, get you guys on board, what would the first kind of step be to get you guys involved on an existing plant? Could you give equipment lists, things that you need for, maybe new sensors, new metering to be installed?
Yeah, we can certainly help from from the instrument side of things, from the what instrument you would need to obviously capture whatever data you were trying to do, and then Amir and his team would then support with the hardware of getting that data extracted automatically.
So to answer to that, so we are trying to work whatever the plant has. So if the newer plant, usually they have the sensors that enable to the connection through the internet, so we can get that. But for the older plant, we have a partner that we can provide IoT gateways, so doesn't require changing significantly, just simple installing those gateways to be able to collect the data, as long as those data are there. And if there is a missing data that we require to have it, we need to find a way to work with the operators to. That's where we see someone like O&M and Ricky's team that on the ground help with the implementation.
Just another question from me. So once the products are implemented, how much time can you actually save the AD operators?
Probably 1 or 2 hours per day on generating reports and collecting data. That's what we're doing at the moment. It obviously gives us time to fix things that are broken and spend time on other areas. So at least 1 or 2 hours a day at the moment we're currently saving.
It's only around the reporting though.
Yeah,
so
it's on the reporting.
Yeah, optimization can help significantly on the preventing some failures that can happen. That's where we see the big benefit of this platform as well.
Yeah.
We have another question at the back.
Hi, Harry Michalakakis from Department of Energy Security and Net Zero. I wanted to ask about your predictive model. Do you have a model on its own? Is it calibrated against a particular plant that you're offering your services to, or is it calibrated on all of your plants? I just want to understand the differentiation there.
That's a great question. So back to, again, anonymizing the data. We have to train our models based on those data that we have. It's not just one single plant, it's a multiple plants. And this AI model that we are working on, it's improving. So it's learning from each setup and improving that model to be able to provide better predictive modeling for the operation. So it's not just one plant, it's a multiple plants and different settings.
Okay, I think we had lots of questions, so it's probably about time to wrap up. But thank you so much, Amir and Ricky. I think it's been a really interesting session, and thank you for the audience to ask all the questions. So we have another panel coming up. Stay for it. It's big oil and biogas. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.